Hello, Michelle Lee here, Immigration Solicitor at Truth Legal, here today to talk a little bit about the costs of sponsorship. Now, there's a lot more detail in the article that I've written to accompany this video. In the video, I'm just going to keep it simple and talk a little bit about some of the most common costs that people come up against when they're starting to think about sponsorship. So, if you know anything about sponsorship of workers from overseas, you'll know that you need a sponsor license. The cost for that is £536 if you're a small business. That's part one of the cost that you're going to pay. Part two of the cost that you're going to pay is the certificate of sponsorship. Now that costs £199, whether it's defined or undefined, and no matter how long you sponsor your worker for. One certificate costs £199. The scary cost of sponsorship is the immigration skills charge. Now that is set at £364 per worker per year. So if you do sponsor for 5 years, which is the maximum you can go for, that's 364 times 5, which soon adds up. That's about 1,800 quid. You can bring that down by sponsoring for a shorter duration. Indeed, I've written another article about what the advantages and disadvantages are of going for a shorter versus longer term duration of sponsorship. So those are the fees for you as the employer. Now, the individual worker also has to pay some fees. So generally, they'll have to pay the visa fee. Now that is 600 and something or 700 and something, depending on whether they're inside or outside of the UK. That will get them a visa for up to 3 years. It rises a bit if their visa is for longer than 3 years. So it becomes 1,200 and something or 1,400 and something. Again, depending on whether they're inside or outside the UK. All those precise numbers can be found in the article. The scary cost for the individual is the immigration health surcharge, and this one is eye-watering. This can be £624 per year unless the individual is exempt. And again, although I'm saying per year, it's an upfront fee payable in full at the time the individual applies for their visa. So again, if you're going to sponsor them for 5 years, they're looking at 624 times 5, which can be quite a lot of money. Now that what I've just talked through there is the sort of default position. So we've got 3 fees falling to the employer. That's your license fee, 536, your certificate fee, 199, and your immigration skills charge, 364 per year. Those are the default for the employer. Then you've got 2 fees, which are the default for the worker. That was the visa fee that I talked about and the immigration health surcharge. Now, generally, you're free to decide whether you want to depart from that default position. A lot of employers choose to cover some of their workers' fees for them. Sometimes they pay for things like flight tickets as well, but that's entirely up to you. So that is a sort of brief overview of the most commonly experienced costs of sponsorship. Various reductions and exemptions apply, but I'm not going to talk about those here. If you want more information on those, you can find them in the article. Thank you.